up guys, welcome back to today's video. We're going to go ahead and start installing the head components, so the buckets, the cams, the cam caps, and whatever it is that we need to do. So that being said, let's just get on to working. So nicely and tucked away in here, we have our cams all bubble wrapped, every inch of it. So we're going to go ahead and throw those on the motor. And in here, I'm going to move my old washer tank. We have the buckets, the intake, and the exhaust. And we also have the cam caps that are all numbered and everything. So they're going to go in the same exact place as where they came from. So that being said, let me situate everything and we can get started on working. So if you guys missed it a few videos, or 2 videos ago, I believe, we got the head back and it's all refreshed. They cleaned it up. I don't think they did a great job, to be honest. You can see it's still dirty in some spots, but all the sludge is gone, so I guess it's better than it was. There is still some RTV in some spots, so I'm going to go ahead and clean all that off. That way we have a nice fresh sealing surface for everything that we're going to need to put FIPG on. So let's just go ahead and knock that out real quick and keep on chugging along. So now we're gonna throw the buckets onto on top of the valve springs, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna throw those on. We got some assembly lube to lubricate them really quickly, and then we'll put that in order. So let's knock that out. I forgot to show it in the videos, but I did make sure to line the outside of just line the cam, or not the cams, but the caps with some assembly lube. That way there's a nice film oil around it so it doesn't get stuck or whatever. Just go ahead and throw the cams on. Oh, also, while we're here, let's go ahead and throw our little cap things here, the little half moons, before we forget. So we got our Toyota sealing pack, 103 FIPG. These are the caps I was talking about, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw a dab of silicone on the inside of here, squish it on in, and make sure it's leveled. And then we'll be good on these, let that cure. Boom, let's go ahead and let that cure. We got the RCV on both sides, or FIPG. Let's go ahead and throw the cams on. So we got that all there. We got our camshafts unwrapped. I did label them beforehand, intake and exhaust. That way I wouldn't get confused. I don't know if, there is a difference. This one has a little trigger thing, but I just labeled them just to be safe. Also, to be safe, I have the write-up here on exactly how to make sure you install them properly. So we're just gonna go ahead and follow these steps and we'll get it all situated and all done nice and well. So I'm just gonna throw you guys on a time lapse because, like I said before, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. So you guys aren't, I wouldn't want you guys to watch this to learn how to do it. I'll just kind of do it real quick and show you guys what I did and how I came about doing it. So time lapse. got the cams all on. We got them torqued to spec, which means it's 14 pounds, and I don't have a torque wrench that goes that low, so I just made sure I tighten them by hand clicks, or elbow clicks as they say. But we did the sequence, we tightened it all, rotated the cam, loosened, tightened, rotated the cam again, blah, blah, blah. Then we got the timing plate on, and then we got the timing gears on. I was gonna do aftermarket cam gears, but stock will do. It's, if anything, it's not that hard to replace. We'll do that later on. Anyways, we got this on. Now we can go ahead and proceed to probably the timing stuff, maybe timing belt and whatnot, but we'll see. So just stay tuned. We got the timing all marked, intake, or the intake right here, and the exhaust. We got this at the top dead center. As you can see, that tick mark right there lines up with that dot. So we're gonna go ahead and throw all the timing stuff on, and you know the deal. So we got our timing marks right there lined up with the plate right there. Boom. The notch right here. Boom. And also, if you look down below here, we got the tick there. Lines up with our top of the center point there. So, last thing we gotta do is pull the grenade pin on the timing belt tensioner or hydraulic tensioner. And it's gonna snap loose and throw some tension in there. So, ready? It's kind of cool. You ready? You watching? 3, 2. Boom! Boom! That's it. It's very anticlimactic. The first time I heard of it, I thought it was gonna be super cool. Nope, we just pull it out, then it snaps tight, and boom. Now we're top dead center. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate it a few times just to make sure after a few revolutions it does come back to its top dead center and time marks align. So let's go ahead and knock that out and put more stuff on it. Alright, so if you guys don't know, right here is usually a water port. It has a fitting and it goes in this little hard line that loops around the back. Now usually people delete that, but I wanted to keep it just because, I don't know, I have a theory about hot spots in the engine if you delete this, whatever. But since this block had it capped off, and honestly the fitting is stuck in there, I could not get it out, I decided I was going to delete it. So I got our stock pipe here. This was originally like that, as you can see. It comes from the water pump and blah, blah, blah. But since I don't need this, because I deleted that a long time ago, and I no longer need this coolant port because that is the coolant feed for the turbo, and this goes to the heater core, all I need really is this one thing here. So delete that, delete all of this. I just cut this tube off. So this goes straight onto the water pump, like so. Obviously take the nuts off, and boom, it ends there. So what am I going to do, you might ask? I'm going to weld, or not me, but I'm going to get a dash 10 AN fitting welded onto here, just like kind of how this is. And then my pipe here that I had for the heater core bypass will go into the head, right, loop around, and end up here. So with that there, and this pipe here, it should line up. Obviously it's kind of a rough fit right now, but it should line up perfectly to where it's super simplified and no more extra stuff. Alright, next up on the motor, we got the timing belt all on. I forgot where I left you off. It's a new day. But all the timing components are all there. Timing belt is set to top dead center, as you can see. All our marks lined up. Pulley, everything is on. So next step is to get our lower timing cover on. I got this one brand new. If you guys can't tell, it's all nice and shiny still from Toyota. Here's the part number. It's a 2JZ lower timing cover. It is different from the 1J. It's very similar, but it is different. Because the 2J block is slightly taller, this makes up for that. So this should just slip on. You can see it has the bolt holes here. So we should be able to just finesse it on there. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. I might have to put you guys down. Keep in mind, this would be a lot easier if I didn't have my servicing belt tensioner on yet, but I got impatient, as I am with everything, and slipped it on. So it just takes a little bit more finagling, but you can in fact put it on. There you go. It's all on. Nothing's getting interfered, so let's go ahead and get our bolts on, tighten her up, and then we can throw our top cover on. Boom, there you go. We got our lower timing cover all bolted up. Now let's go ahead and I'm not going to bolt down the valve covers just because I do have new valve cover gaskets, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. But let's go ahead and put the valve covers just set on there and put the front timing cover and the coil pack cover just so we can see what the final result of the motor is going to look like. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen it because this video is probably going to go a little bit after I'm done with this. So let's go ahead and throw that on there real quick. Would you look at that? It almost looks like a full motor. Obviously we're missing the intake manifold, the turbo manifold, and yeah, the side stuff. But for the most part, the motor's put back together. Like obviously, like I said, these aren't bolted down, they're kind of just rested there. But it gives us a good look of the complete look of the motor. Obviously from the top, it's gonna look about the same as before. We're going to use the stock intake manifold still sitting over there, but we do have single turbo stuff there. If you guys saw the everything or things I hate about my 240 video, you'll see I have a little Borg Warner turbo for this thing. Show you guys that later on. As of right now, this is the final product. I'm just going to do one more thing before I call it a day and install our motor mount brackets, and then we'll have most of the stuff off of the table. So let's go ahead and knock that out real quick. Besides the excessive JZ Swap S13 motor brackets, it comes with instructions, but because I got these a long time ago, I couldn't find them, and I couldn't remember for the life of me where it went on these mounting holes. So I was referencing old videos. If I can pull it in this video, I'll put a little snippet of it right now. But on the turbo side, on the exhaust side, you use the forward mounting holes right here. Boom. And then on the intake side, you use these 4 holes. So let's go ahead and bolt them on up, and we'll be done with these engine mounts. And also, to make sure I didn't get confused, when I pulled them off, I did label them intake side, and I didn't bother to label this side because there's only 2 sides, and if I know this is the intake side, this is obviously the exhaust side. So let's go ahead and throw that on real quick. There we go. We got the brackets on both sides. So the motor is pretty much put back together. We just got to do accessories and manifolds and whatnot. That'll be for a different video. So as of right now, we're all good. That's going to be it for this video. Actually, I lied to you guys. One more piece I want to put on, and that's our fluid amper crank pulley. So a lot of people would change this to the lightweight one or whatever. You don't want that one, like the little one where it literally looks like just a pulley. You don't want that because then your harmonics or whatever will be off and it's no good. So a lot of people ditch the stock crank pulley and go with a fluid amper or an ATI or a Titan makes one or whatever. It's pretty much, this is a 2-piece design. It gets rid of the rubber seal in the stock one. So it eliminates that from failing and your crank pulley from blowing up pretty much. Let's go ahead and toss this on real quick. So everything is at top dead center. You want to make sure the keyway lines up, and it should just go straight on. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. And there shouldn't be any, it shouldn't be hard to install. It should just slide on, and you shouldn't have to hit it with a hammer. Let me double check and make sure everything's aligned, and then we'll continue on. So we got it all on. It just took 2 hands, gonna just slip it on. But as you can see, our timing mark 0 is lined up with 0, and our timing, it still lines up correctly. And I've spun the motor over like 5 times and kept checking it every single time, and they keep lining up to top dead center, all of them. So that means we're good to go, nothing to worry about. Now, peace out, see you in the next one.